So before this video begins, I just wanted to let you all know that this will be my final upload until NATS 2023. I'm honestly super excited for the competition, and so with that being said, let's head on to the video. Hey guys, what's up? It's TDRP Cubing here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to solve the 5x5 Pyraminx. So before we get into the tutorial, I will let you all know that you don't necessarily need to know how to solve the master Pyraminx before solving the 5x5 one, but it does help quite a bit. So I will have my tutorial linked below in the description, though I will warn you it is a bit of an older video. However, I did just watch it back and I think it's still clear enough to know how to solve this cube by using that video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the tutorial. So step number one is the centers, but while we're at it, you can also go ahead and do the tips as well. And so now, as to how you do the centers, it's actually pretty intuitive. So for the first center here, all you simply have to do is find any piece that matches up and line it up with the center and move it across like so. And now I already see my second center piece, and we'll just move it across like this. And my last center piece is right here, and so I will just move the side this way to line it up and then move it across. Now for the last three centers, this is a little bit more complicated, but still extremely simple. So what you want to do in a case like this, where one or two center pieces are already solved, is look for another piece that matches up with the center. And as you can see, the last green center piece is right here. So what you want to do is align it with an already solved center piece, which is actually already the case. And what you do is you move it across, and then you move the side in the direction of the side you just turned with the unsolved centerpiece, and then you move it back. And as you can see, the center is now solved. So all you do after that is just repeat those steps. So as you can see, I have a solved centerpiece, so I will align it with another red centerpiece, and I will do the same set of moves. And so for the last piece, I will just move this across so it aligns with an already solved piece, and do it yet again, just flipped. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So heading on to the next step, we have the middle three edge pieces. So what you have to do for this step is find one middle edge piece, for example this yellow and red one right here, and find another edge piece from the middle three pieces that matches up with it. So as you can see, I have this yellow and red piece like so that matches up with this one, so I will try to move it so that it matches up. As you can see right now, if I move this to the correct place, it actually moves this edge piece out of the way. So what I need to do is a set of moves like this. And now it matches up correctly. For the next step, what you want to do to make this even easier is when you're solving one edge piece and matching it up with another, you want to find the piece that you're moving out of the way and find an edge piece that matches up with that. So for this example, whenever I solve the yellow and red piece, I am moving this red and blue piece out of the way. So I want to find one that would go on the right side, so when I move it back, it matches up. And that's all this step really is. It's basically just substitution. So once I solve this piece, I will substitute this edge with another one that matches up with this red and blue piece. So as you can see, this red and blue piece right here would go in this position to match up with this edge piece. So what I want to do is, since I'm moving the left side, that's actually moving this piece out of the way, so I want to maneuver it to get it on the right side right here. And that's actually pretty simple. So all I have to do is move this edge down, which then moves this edge too, move it upwards, and then move this edge back. And now it's on the right side with these two edges still matching up. And now what you want to do is match up the two edge pieces, and afterwards you're going to try to find a way to get this piece on the right side. Now this case is actually pretty simple because all I have to do is this set of moves right here. And now it's on the right side, so when I move this side back, it matches up. And that's essentially the entirety of this step. It's basically just reduction. So for the next case, I see this yellow and green edge piece that matches with this one, so I'm going to flip it around. and as you can see, it matches up just right. And so a good rule of thumb for this step is that when you're moving the left side and you're moving another piece out of the way, you want the solved piece you're trying to substitute with it to be on the right side, and vice versa. So if I were solving it from the right side, I would want the edge I'm replacing with this one to be on the left side. And so for this case, I actually can't substitute it with any edge that will solve this yellow and blue piece, as the piece that needs to go here is already right here. So all I'll do is find a random piece that is not solved and just put it on the right side and substitute it with that. So for example, I have this piece right here, so I will just move it on the right side, and then I will match up these two edge pieces and then do this set of moves to replace them with this unsolved edge and move the side back. So now for this next example, I have this yellow and blue edge piece that matches up with this one, and what I'm looking for is this final yellow and red edge piece, which is actually right here. So as you can see, this piece needs to be in this position once I've substituted it. So what I'm going to do is move this edge piece out of the way and solve this one, and then I'm going to do this set of moves right here to get this in the correct position. And now I can move the side back, and this entire middle edge is solved. And so yeah, the rest of the step is pretty much the same, so I'm going to go ahead and solve the rest of these middle edges up until I get to the last two. Alright, so now I'm actually at the last three edges, and so I'm going to go ahead and walk you through what I'll do to solve each of them. So as you can see, I'm at a case where if I move it in this direction or the other one, I am solving the edges, and I have this one where this piece is flipped around the wrong way. So for the first bit, all you have to do is the same steps that I've already mentioned. You just solve this edge right here and substitute it with the unsolved edge, and then move the side back. Now what I'm going to have to do is try to solve this edge piece with this one. So now I'm going to flip it around, and as you can see, this isn't going to work, so I will simply rotate it around the side, and now it matches up correctly. So as you can see here, the only other piece that would go here is with this edge. So what you actually have to do is sort of go backwards and substitute it with an already solved edge. So I will slide the piece in the correct spot, and then just substitute it with a random solved edge, and then move the side back. And now, because you substituted it with an already solved edge, once you move the side back, it solves it once again. So you look for the last edge, and you move it to the side opposite of the one that you're turning. And so now, once I move this across, I will actually do this set of moves right here. So that way, I maintain these two edges, and now when I move the side back, all of the middle edges are solved. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for step number 2, and now that we're on to step number 3, this is where it gets a lot like the 4x4 Pyraminx. So step number 3 is basically solving the outer shell of the puzzle. So what you first do is look for these centerpieces right here and try to match them all up. So as you can see, the 3 yellow centerpieces are here, so I will move them like so. And then for the last piece, it is here, so I will move it this way, and now all of these pieces correspond with each other. So now what you do is pick any side and then solve the edges that correspond with that side, sort of like a Pyraminx. So I will be picking the yellow side, and first I will be looking for just any edge. Now I see this yellow and red edge, and I see that will go right here, so I will match it up. So now I see this yellow and green edge piece, and it goes here, so I will simply match it up. And lastly, we have this yellow and blue edge piece, and I will match it up like so. Now what you want to do is these tinier edge pieces on the first side that you just solved. And so first I see this yellow and red edge piece right here, so I will move it out of the way and then put it in the correct position. Now for the yellow and red edge piece, it goes here, so I will move it out of the way, move the side up, and then match it up and move the side back. The rest of this is pretty much the same, so now I will go ahead and solve the rest of the yellow edges. Alright, so now for the next step, you have the final 3 edges. So what you first want to do is match them up with their correct permutation. So as you can see, this green and blue edge would go here, and so the rest of the edges would already be in the correct spot. And what the very first step is for this is solving one bottom edge piece. So what that means is you're solving this piece right here at the bottom, and you're not worrying about the top at all. So as you can see, the edge piece that goes here is right in this position. So what you do to get it to the top part of the edge is this algorithm right here. R prime, L, R, L prime, U, L prime, U prime, L. And now, as you can see, it's on the top. So now what you do is match it up and do that same algorithm. And as you can see, the piece is solved. So for the last two edge pieces, all you really do is this same step. However, it does get a little more complicated. So as you can see, the bottom edge piece for this edge is already solved, but the rest of it is flipped. And the edge piece that needs to go here and this edge is right in the back. So what you do is keep this in the back, as when you do the algorithm, the only edge that isn't affected is the one at the back. And then you do the algorithm once again. So now, as you can see, the solved edge is on the top. However, as you can see, these edges are actually flipped around correctly, and in order to get these in the right spot, you need them to be flipped around the wrong way. So what you do to make sure that neither this edge nor this edge end up on the bottom is replace one of them. And so what I'll do for this case is simply move this edge piece right here. So I will just replace it with a yellow edge, and then move this other correct one right back to the back side. Because the top edges don't matter right now, it's not a big deal that the yellow edge piece is in the wrong spot, so now I can go ahead and do that flipping algorithm once again. And now this edge piece needs to go here, while this edge piece needs to go here. So what I will simply do is move this side up, move this edge across, and move the side back down, and now both edge pieces are in the correct spot. So of course I will do the flipping algorithm again. And then I will put this yellow edge piece right back. And as you can see, it actually solved this top bit, but that's not always the case. So sometimes what you'll get is this case right here, where the three edges are not in the correct spot, and this is actually pretty simple to solve. So all you do is this algorithm right here. And if it doesn't work the first time, you just do it once more. And then that part is solved. So now for the last step, we have the centers. And so as you can see, there are only 3 centers left. So what you do for this case is hold the solved center on the bottom and do this algorithm. And if that results in one more center being solved, you just simply repeat it. And now all of the 4 centers are not solved. And so as you can see, it did undo what we did at the top, so you just simply solve those pieces again using what I did in the previous step, and now you have 4 centers left. This is the easiest part of the step, as all you have to do is solve one center over the place where it goes and do this set of moves right here. And that's it. And so yeah, this is actually a pretty simple puzzle that may look difficult at first, but once you get to know how to solve it, it's pretty easy. And so with that being said, that guys was the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, then make sure to ask them down in the comments below. Besides that, have a good day and bye. See you next time.